Hey guys, welcome back to WoT Blitz. Previously, in the T95E6 video, I've mentioned something about the Leopard 1. I figured I might as well just play it and explain to you guys why I think this is one of the most exciting medium tanks in the game. Just like the 50B, a lot of people got this tank wrong. Or I should say, they are not really exploiting the full potential of it, and that is the brawling capabilities. I will explain that in detail through gameplays, but first, let's take a look at the equipment loadout. Since my playstyle of this tank is more brawling, so I tend to choose calibrated shells. I want to make sure that even if I encounter heavily armored tanks like the E50M or even sometimes the mouse E100, I'm able to pen them reliably. And since we are putting our tank in a more dangerous situation, I'll be using 2 repair kits. Instead of long-range engagement, I tend to do more snapshots, so I choose V-stabs instead of refined gun. Same thing goes to the reticle calibration. I don't really need it. Gunpowder is another provision I would want to have because it keeps my snapshot ability as high as possible. Now, let's play some games and show you what exactly do I mean. At first, as usual, let's take a look at the matchmaking. We have one more fast tanks on the flank, and our heavy tanks are very lightly armored. This is exactly the opposite of what we want, because Alpenstadt is the map that it's heavily focused in town. Even if you win the entire medium flank, you are still not strategically guaranteed to overpower the rest of the enemy team in town, because there are so many choke points, so many corners they can defend. And I'll be honest, they have the perfect tank to do so. E100, 268, Super Conqueror, and the T57 Heavy. All of these tanks are super good at corner fights. As a result, I'm heading back to town to help my teammates like the 50B, the Chieftain. As much as I don't want to, because if you check the mini-map, our team is separate into 3 different groups, and none of them is able to provide crossfire for each others. So, in this case, we are going to play that missing link. But things went sideways a little bit too quick. Our Chieftain is already dead, the only tank with some kind of armor on our team. With his perish, we don't have a foothold in town anymore. And quite frankly, I don't know what I can do right now. If I poke around this corner, I'm going back to garage in 2 seconds. But if I leave right now, as they are about to push, our 50B and the grill will die in vain. So yeah, this really is in a pickle. I have to be patient. But good news is, if you look at the mini-map, our 268 is finally in position. And as we see this E100 start pushing, and TVP is also in position as well, my job here is done. I kinda don't want to say it, but at this point the grill and the 268 is the bait. We need to capitalize it as much as we can, but still keep myself safe. How do we do that? We go to the kind of positions where my teammates is able to provide cover fire. At the same time, I have places to run to, and that is with my medium tanks. Oh, I got so lucky here. At this point, I still want to do as much damage to the enemy team as possible, so that we can have less to work with later on in the game. But I also realized that my medium tanks teammates are not going in town, which is a wise move, because we don't want to fight the enemy in their home court. Now, let's take a look at what we have. 140, TVP, and Leopard 1. What do you see in common? Ginormous amount of DPM. So the best thing to do is to set traps. And since TVP is not going outside, I decide that here is the spot. So we back down a little bit. Utilize this little terrain to send our first victim, T57 Heavy, back to garage. Now, our TVP is empty, and we can assume that the E100 or the 268 is capping. The Supercon and the 62A is our imminent threat. In order to protect that clip potential, I want to expose myself a little bit just to buy us some time. The TVP is our secret weapon. As you can see, the situation is starting to shift. 3 of us are playing extremely well. We are able to cover each other. The only thing they can do is to use the armor to push us, but I'm gonna make sure that they're gonna lose a lot of hit points before they do that. 268 and the Supercon is starting to move. The 62A will be here very soon as well. We still have some hit points to spare, but this is not looking very good. But if you look at the mini-map, our TVP have done a very smart move. He came back. That changes a lot of things even though he doesn't have a lot of hit points. because he's able to distract the Super Conqueror. And as long as I don't get pinned down by him, I can solo this 62A. I got a little bit distracted by this 268. I have no idea what he was doing. Since he's not looking at here in the Super Kong as well, we are in such a dire situation, I have to do something. So I decided to trade with 62A. Fortunately, he panicked. He backed down. Our teammates are gone. And the only way to win this is to clear this Super Kong first. And oh my god, this gun. See, this is what I mean. We don't need radical calibration. We don't need refined gun. Now, since the 62A got nerfed in the DPM department, I think we have time to kill him before he reloaded. I mean, at this point, I don't have any other options. And we did. 268. He got a lot of hit points. I stopped a little bit here to check if he's turning around. He's not, so we continue to go forward. The best way to deal with a TD right now is to lure him down. If they are in river, their terrain resistance is very bad. They're not turning. And we can probably make use of that. Now that he's prepared, we need to actually do that again. We need to lure him down to the river again. So we bait him a little bit, play with fire a little bit, and then we need to make sure that he comes down to the river again. Okay, he got baited. He's in the river. Now, this time we're gonna be a little bit more careful. Aim a little bit better. For a second, I wanted to choose Rammer, because if we did, he's getting permanently tracked. It's okay though. This time he's definitely not coming up. But we still got another trick under our sleeves, and that is the adaptive concealment. That little eyeball thing is gonna tell us when we are going to get despotted. So we pretend to be going left before we got despotted. How do we say it? What we're trying to do here is to outsmart his smartedness. Makes him think we go right, but actually we're still going left. And it's GG. Do you guys not like this kind of playstyle? In this game, I don't think we've done a single long-range engagement. Granted, the map doesn't really allow us to, but still, I find this kind of playstyle very exciting. And honestly, this is where the Leopard 1 belongs, truly. I'm sure if the Leopard is alive, he or she would definitely love it. However, as we all know, Leopard 1 doesn't have any kind of armor. If you bounce, you consider yourself lucky. Also, Wargaming have nerfed the DPM, the gun depression. Well, the DPM department is still very okay, but not that you can go crazy anymore. 7 degrees of gun depression for a lot of tanks is very good, but for Leopard 1, I'm not very happy about it. It really limits the tank to utilize different kinds of terrain. That, in my opinion, is what this tank all about. I know, I really care about the brawling capabilities of this tank. Any kind of limitation is like clipping their wings. It's like a lot of parents, they are like constantly telling you, go to school, do this, do that, learn this, learn that, but they're not allowing you to do what you actually love. And this is exactly what Wargaming have done to the Leopard 1. And also the reason why I'm staying in this sniping position at the beginning of the game. I just don't have enough gun depression to keep myself safe. In that Rhino's position, well, he had armor, I don't. Good news is, with his help, we are most likely going to clear this flank very soon. I know crossing like this is dangerous, but I can also see that the 183 is in the middle. He got no shot on me. Another reason I play this aggressively is because behind me, there are Rhinos and 121. If I spotted any TDs, just like that 405, he's gonna get demolished in seconds. Hopefully. Also, I don't want this bad chat to haunt us in the later game. Light tanks these days are extremely dangerous, even though the bad chat got nerfed, but their camo ratings have just so much potential. Dead Rail is not a small map. I need to clear him out when I have a chance. The bad chat is dealt with, I think. After that, we can start working on their TDs. And guys, as you can see here, the adaptive concealment is so powerful. It tells me exactly whether I got spotted or not. This mechanic kinda elevates the performance of the Leopard 1, but I still don't like it as much as it was before. How do I put it? It's like EVs, electric vehicles. For example, Tesla, as we all know, they have a lot of power, a lot of torque, 4-wheel drive, very quick. But if you ask any petrol heads, nobody likes Tesla. Why? Simply because it's not exciting. When you drive it, you don't feel the connection with your car. It's just a tool. Same thing as the Leopard 1. It's arguably the best Leopard 1 ever in Blitz history. But I just don't feel as exciting to play as before. Sorry for the rant. Let's get back to the game. After we clear out this Concept 1B, I checked the minimap. Our 183 is very far away from us. He won't be able to help us anytime soon. However, all of the enemy team are in vicinity. So if I go back to the middle hill, there are many openings along the way. I might get spotted climbing up. That's why I decided to go back to the corner, since we didn't spot anything after we killed the Concept 1B. At this point, we have spotted 183 in the E4. We still need the information of E100, and he got spotted as we speak. At this point, E4 is not my most concern, because he can't one-shot me, but the 183 can, so I need to know where he is. So we use this bush to spot him again, hopefully, because we didn't spot him on the right-hand side. He's still there. Not much we can do about it, but I changed my mind. One thing about the Leopard 1 is the gun handling. If we do snapshots, we have the advantage. And how do we do that? Make them come. So we back a little bit, see if we have a shot on this E100, and hopefully give those 183 E4 some time to close in. And then we poke again. Of course, carefully. 183 is not looking, so it should be the E4. Yes, one shot at a time. After we kill the 183, this game should be fairly easy now. The E4 cannot one-shot me, and the E100 still got pinned down by our 183. So yeah, this game is basically GG. I think this game kinda showcased how important it is to have the adaptive concealment. It shows you exactly who spotted you and when you are gonna get this spotted. It makes the game so much easier. You don't need to count 10 seconds in your mind and then hope for the best. Now you just know. So if you're not like me, crazy about the brawling capabilities of the Leopard 1, I think this is the best state Leopard 1 ever been. You are 100% gonna like it. So, to summarize the playstyle of the Leopard 1, we first need to know the limitation of the tank, aka armor, aka gun depression. We need to know what kind of positions we will be safe using them. Like these two games we just played, there aren't any safe initial positions we can take in the beginning of the game, so we don't take them. We wait for the game to develop, see the opening, and then we go. Utilize our brawling capabilities, DPM, gun handling, and of course, adaptive concealment. Be that annoying little bugger, and hopefully force them to make mistakes. Then your mobility comes in. You can decide to kite them, switch flanks, do whatever you want. And this is how I understand the Leopard 1. Just like in this game as well. The initial position is a little bit too dangerous for me, but our 1-to-1B already taken it. Then we can be the second support. We don't need to snipe, but we can still provide DPM. Another reason why I stay low is because, as you can see on the minimap, none of our team has gone into the right flank. If the enemy push that side, they can do damage to me easily. And to confirm whether that's gonna happen, I need to constantly spot the left to see where the rest of the enemy actually at. And luckily this time, they are all here. We don't see any 183 in the vicinity. The only TD we see is the Badger, but he's not really in the position where he can do damage to me. So I guess we just poke, do damage to this I-7 first. I noticed the 1-to-1B has came down. That means there's no one on the top keeping those enemy medium tanks in check. And that's why we turn our attention to this E50M. I know the 183 in our base is able to shoot him, but I want to make sure I'm in the position where he cannot ram me. Yeah, no. 183 didn't do any damage to him. But still, he got scared. That's what we want. At this point, I still don't want to go up just yet because I noticed their IS-7 has retreated. If he climbs up, there's no way I can pen him. Also the Badger and the unspotted 183. I don't want to take that risk just yet. So I went back to the original location, do damage to anyone trying to cross, make sure the E100 and STV1 on the left hand side does not get any help. They will slowly get eaten by our teammates, and that's when we're starting to open up the map. Also, since the Badger is hull down, we can't do much about it. As a result, we climb up, go to the middle, and hopefully spot the 183. Ooh, I actually got a little bit too excited here. 183 is spotted, but luckily he didn't shoot me. I've noticed the E50M has gone to our right hand side. The timing is not mature yet to deal with him because the 183 can easily watch the corner, and as well as the 4202, he can just relocate. Since our 121B is in front of the 4202, I want to create another angle. So when I'm not spotted, I decided to cross. And now I'm completely safe. 183 can't shoot me, E50M cannot shoot me. The only one I need to concern is the 4202. So yeah, guys, sometimes very simple maneuvers can change the engagement completely. Even though I know this game is probably a GG at this point, we are just doing the cleanup. 4202 has Hatch, he's not gonna risk it to shoot my turret. Also, we have gun handling advantage, so here we don't need to be afraid. As you can see, a little bit of a problem is the gun depression. Even if I have one more degree, I would not need to use that many gold. Here, I simply cannot depress my gun down to shoot his cheeks, so I have to use gold. I mean, that's what I said before, I want to have a little bit more gun depression on this tank. But I guess that's wargaming, they always take away what we love. Yeah, this game is basically over. Through these 3 games, I hope I can showcase the playstyle of Leopard 1. In these 3 games, I don't think we do any kind of long-range engagement. We didn't snipe, but at the same time, we're not shy away from brawling, as long as we know what we're dealing with. As a result, usually we don't take initial positions as urgently, despite we have very good mobility. We let the game develop a little bit, and then we use our DPM, our adaptive concealment, to crack open those gaps, break their defense, force them to make mistakes, and then rebrawl. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys liked the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you and bye-bye.